All right, guys, let's jump into lesson number 10. Remember, pause so you can write your stuff down, and we're going to get ourselves going. This is the old stuff. Here's new. So we are going to be doing page 24 in Zoom and 25 as your notes today. So make sure you give yourself enough room. We got 3 problems to look at. So don't write really huge. If you have to use up more pages, then you need to adjust your table of contents based on what you have. All right, so go ahead and pause and jot this down. Okay, so I've gone in here and I already wrote out the answers on this piece as you copied it down. So I highlighted the 50 because that right there is how much money the person started with. And that is your y-intercept. So in case you had forgotten, it's y equals mx plus b. And that number at the end there is your y-intercept. So he's earning $10 an hour, and the way we can tell he's earning $10 an hour is that number is multiplying to the x. Every single hour he's getting $10 more. That's called slope. We also use the term rate of change. All right, so now go ahead and jot this down. And now we're going to kind of go ahead and work through this here. So I've kind of already wrote it out, but I'm going to fill it in. So you can see by looking at this that the x's, the pattern is changing by 1. And the y's, it's changing by 3. So if we know it's going up by 3 for every x that goes up, going backwards, this had to be from 4 to get there. So if it goes up by 3 going as the x's grow, it's going to shrink by 3 as the x's shrink also. So if we were going to write this into slope-intercept form, we need the slope and the y-intercept. Well, here's what's cool. The y-intercept is always going to be the y value of where your x is 0. So that's your letter B. That's kind of nice. And then the slope is the change of y over the change of x. So that is 3 over 1. And we got that y-intercept of 4 that we just talked about. So let's go ahead and write it out. You put the 3 into the m position. And the 4 in the b position. And there it is, y equals 3x plus 4. So if you've got the m and the b, it's easy to make the equation. And our tables usually give it to us. All right, so now let's go ahead and write this last one down. Okay, so now that you've written it down, let's go ahead and fill this baby out. So we're going to look at a pattern here. And I can see that my y's are adding 4 each time, as my x's add 1. Don't really have room over there, so I'm going to do it here to the side. Plus 1, plus 1. So to continue that, if this goes to 4, this goes to 27. Going backwards, that's 0. This goes down to 11. All right, so we filled in the pattern. Now, if we want to find the equation that relates the number of shirts, which is the x, that's how many shirts were made in the factory, to how much it costs, we need the m and the b. So the slope is the change in y over the change of x, 4 over 1, or just 4. And our y-intercept is where the x is 0, so that b is 11. So there goes our nice little equation. Y equals 4x plus 11. Now here's the key on this next part. Actually using the equation. When you're asked to use the equation, that means you need to plug numbers into it. So if we want to find out how much it costs to make 44 shirts, that 44 needs to go into one of these letters. Well, the number of shirts is represented by x. So this 44 is going to go into the x position. So 4 times 44 plus 11. All right, so I'm looking on my calculator. When I do 4 times 44, I get 176. plus 11, or y equals 187. It is going to cost $187 to make 44 shirts. All right, now the next question is phrased a little bit differently. This one says, use the equation to find out how many shirts can be made for $63. We've given you the money, and we're looking for the number of shirts. So the money is the y. So 63 goes in the y position. It's 4 times x, that's an ugly x, I apologize, plus 11. So we got to subtract 11 from both sides. And that's going to give me 52. And when I divide by 4, that gives me x equals 13. So you can make 13 shirts for $63. So the key here is understanding how it's phrased, what you're given. We're given the dollar amount here, or the y's, that helps us find the x. This is that whole input-output thing. All right, guys, there are 2 assignments here. You're going to go into your book, and out of your book, there's problems number 51, 65, and 73. It's mostly review stuff. And then I've put a handout onto your Canvas, and you can print it. Like, I've given you suggestions on how to do it. You can print it out if you got a printer, so just take a picture after that, where that's easy. You can draw the stuff on paper, or if you have Paint or another program on your computer that will allow you to draw on a PDF document, you can use that, and you can just do your work on the computer screen, kind of like how I draw on here. And you can just save it and upload it. All right, guys, that's it. Take care, stay safe. See you in Zoom.